Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Way of X, issue number 1. Way of X is actually Krakoan. If you translate it appropriately, it says, "Holy crap, we forgot about Nightcrawler." Well, they finally remembered him. Jeez. Let's get talk about who made this comic book. We'll go on from there. Issue 1, Playing Make Believe. Cy Spurrier is the writer. Bob Quinn on art. Java Tartaglia on color art. Haven't seen Java for a while. VC's Clayton Cowles doing letters. Tom Mueller on design. Cover art. Giuseppe Camuncoli and Marty Gracia. Whole bunch of variant covers out there. Enjoy. For now, head of Vex is Jonathan Hickman. I say for now because I think he left. Anyway, he must have been overseeing this. So there's a bunch of people in here. Yeah. It's mostly a Nightcrawler book. And I love it. I love the idea of that. This was a fun comic book to read. A couple little things here and there showing up that I'm laughing about. Apparently Nightcrawler is super stupid, and he's not known for his intelligence apparently, because Professor X wakes up from a nightmare and he contacts Nightcrawler. He's like, "Hey, Nightcrawler, what's up? I saw you were up. Hope I'm not bothering you." He's like, "Yeah, I'm up. You could say that." Ja, mein Gott, all that stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm on that mission in Venice." "Oh, yeah, the mission in Venice. Yeah. Cool. How's that going?" "I was going pretty good. So what'd you call me for?" "Oh, just wanted to wish you luck on your mission that you didn't even know I was on and apparently forgot that even existed in the first place. And you only called me because you saw that I was awake." Really? Really? Like all of his other friends were asleep. Come on, man. Come on. If there was just one panel, one word bubble later where he would have said, "Hey, Professor X, I know that when you called me before, you weren't really calling about such and such. I mean, you know, you know, just saying something like, hey, if you want to talk about it, you would have talked about it. That's why I didn't push you any further on it. But just acknowledge you didn't call me to wish me luck on a mission that you forgot even existed and that you sure as hell forgot that I was on currently." So there's that. Anyway, the vision that Professor X was seeing is apparently the Patchwork Man. It kind of looks like a crow, right? It's just like, "Rah, squawk," or whatever the hell that is. Interesting. I'm very interested to see that. I think I understand what's actually happening here, though, because there were so many hints as to what is going to appear on the last page that I was like, the anticipation was so high that my anxiety actually started to elevate a lot, because I know that this was a nice and thick book at only $4.99. Not bad, for a double page book. But I'm sitting here like there were so many obvious references to who was going to appear on the last page that I was like, okay, I'm going to turn the page and it's going to be the big reveal, right? It's going to be the final page big reveal. Like there's just a bunch of advertisements in the back. Like for me at least, they really dragged it out. If you didn't catch it, you're just, maybe. Here's the thing. I think that there were so many things pointing to who this character was, and no spoilers. I'm not here to spoil who it was. You go to some other person if you want to. Actually, this is a first appearance. Never mind. You can stay here. I'll reveal it, but just not right now. I'll tell you before I reveal it. The idea is there were so many obvious references to who this was that I'm just like, come on, dude. Will you just freaking show who it was? Like, it was actually annoying. I don't know that anybody was surprised to turn the page and see who it was there. I'm pretty sure nobody was surprised because it was so blatantly obvious who it was. It's like, will you just freaking say it already? Come on. Just relieve my stress on this. Are you going to really surprise me? But like, oh, I didn't see that coming. No, everybody saw this coming like half a book ago. Anyway, having this character be the one who shows up at the end, and apparently this character is also the Patchwork Man, because there's the little, jab there, which I liked. I liked the idea they did this. They had Dr. Nemesis show up, and they kind of gave reference to the idea that he's actually the Patchwork Man because he's growing mind-altering substances on his head out of his cerebellum. It's funny that the whole cerebellum thing. When I'm going to give an example, like this is how a person who's not smart talks when they want to act smart. I know that Dr. Nemesis is supposed to be smart, but you ever seen a fake martial artist? You ever talk to a fake martial artist? They act like they're really well versed in the martial arts, and they talk about how I can use the death touch and just touch you here and then you'll die. It's like, go ahead and touch me. Dude, you don't know what kind of power you mess with. No, 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 no. I know this power. I've seen this technique, but I have a way to get out of it. Sure, go ahead and touch me just so I can laugh at you for being full of crap. Like there is no such thing as a freaking death touch. It's cute, really great little fantasy stuff in a world of people reading comic books, but there's no freaking death touch. You know what I'm saying? You can't paralyze me by doing all this stuff and, oh, I can hit your nerve cluster just right. Yeah, my ass you can. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing. There's simply no such thing. You know what's real? A knockout punch. That usually involves your jaw. You know what I'm saying? 3 parts of it specifically, but bring it. You talk to a fake martial artist and they start talking about, first you're going to hit in the trachea, and then you're going to hit in the humerus, and then you're going to come around, you're going to hit right around the carotid artery, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to hit in the freaking Benicio del Toro. Like, they're always saying something where they're trying to sound a lot smarter than they actually are. You can always just simply say, you punch him in the throat, you punch him in the arm, you punch him in the freaking whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard to just simply talk like a normal human being. But when you're trying to act smarter than you actually are, you use words that you don't know, that you're, or at least that you're not familiar with, and we could tell you're not used to using those words. Like, I'm the first person you're ever telling this stuff to, huh? I'm the guinea pig here, aren't I? For this little fake martial arts system that you're setting up? Yeah, cute. Same thing here with Dr. Nemesis. The way he's talking, it's like, maybe if somebody actually understood the sciences a little better, this would have come off a little bit better. But he really just sounded like a goof to me. Maybe that can be blamed on the idea that he's growing freaking shrooms out of his head and whatnot, but the white pages in here got real effing annoying real freaking quick. Look, right over here, you got just constant. First off, there's too many white. You ever have that problem? Not a good problem to have. You got too many redacted parts, which is just like, dude, at this point, like, I really don't think that you're going to wind up showing something later that I'm going to be like, oh my God, that was amazing. And then later on, they show a couple things which are supposed to be funny. Like, this was actually a really good joke that they were playing on Magneto with the super big horns on top. Like, they really exaggerated that one. The devil horns. What was it? The statue of, not the statue of David, crap. It was one of the Italian commissions that were done back in the day. It was the thing of Moses. If you look in the Old Testament, there's parts where in English, you might still find some of these older Bibles that'll say that Moses had horns on his head, right? The trick is that, you know, like, we have homonyms in the English language and homophones, but specifically homonyms in this particular point, like homophone, I see you, and out in the sea. Same word, but it's spelled differently. But then there are words that are spelled the same, and I'm trying to think of examples, and I can't think of examples right now, but comment section below, full of homonyms, words that sound the same and are spelled the same, but they have different meanings, right? And in this particular case, horns on the head, the terminology used there is the exact same, so a homonym, for scars on his face, you know, from looking at the burning bush, for being in too close a proximity to God Almighty, right? So, yeah, the non-Jewish speaker, the non-Hebrew speakers, they saw this and they used the wrong term. You know what I'm saying? So they actually went and sculpted Moses with horns on his head instead. That statue is still there. It's a fun mistake to see. You know what I'm saying? And out there, it's in Rome. So I forget where exactly. It's not they might have moved it to the Holy See. Anyway, whatever. Boom, it's there. All right, it's there. You could see it. So it's funny to see things like that. In this particular case, like, I'm just seeing these gigantic freaking horns that they really overdid. I'm laughing my ass off about it, you know? It was a funny joke. And then Mephisto. And then Magneto starts just exposition, actually starts, you know, doing a sermon. Oh, and this and that, and before we were this, but now we're that, and today we are this, but tomorrow we'll be that, and don't forget to come to Crucible, and we're passing around the collection plate. It's like, all right there, Brother Devon, testify. Some of you guys are going to get, those who know, you know. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, freaking, there were a lot of really fun moments in here. At the same time, Magneto taking over for the Crucible, I think that this is the bigger problem that I have, and this isn't Cy Spurrier's fault on this. They took away Apocalypse, and he was, to me, the perfect foil for Nightcrawler to have to go against, because it's like you're not going to beat Apocalypse. There is nobody who's going to believe that Nightcrawler is going to beat Apocalypse, which is basically the ultimate underdog story, because when he eventually beats Apocalypse, and it would be through the minds and the hearts of the children of Krakoa, that's the way that it should be. Instead of it being Apocalypse, and I am as far beyond mutants as they are beyond you. Like, that's what I want to see against slight little Nightcrawler, who still, after all these years, has a terrible German accent. Probably even worse than mine. No, nobody has a worse German accent than mine. Nobody has a worse accent, period, than mine. All right? Just, it is what it is, okay? That being said, I think that Apocalypse would have been the perfect nemesis for Nightcrawler to go against. And Magneto, it's just simply not the same. And even, spoilers for who the person is at the end, it's Legion. Even Legion is going to be an interesting thing. Look, the thing with Magneto versus Apocalypse, like these two main bad guys, even Magneto in here fighting against whoever, and you will be cleansed, and it's like Apocalypse was doing this before, and it's just him going mano a mano with you with a sword, and he didn't even make a sword out of his hand. He didn't even use his powers to kill you, and Magneto's using his powers, which right away seems like a total chump move against powerless people who, in this particular case, this individual was in pain, The puking thing at the end, it didn't seem very fun to me. It was cool that what's his name, Nightcrawler is like, I think my balance is just way too perfect. And yeah, that would make perfect sense. Me, I'd be puking like a mother fat head. You know what I'm saying? But like, forget about it. Is that my spleen? There comes my kidney. Anyway, one of them. But Magneto just doesn't seem anywhere near as powerful. Magneto's really been being chumped out as of late. Remember when it was right after the X of Swords stuff, the Ten of Swords stuff? What they do? He comes with a flower with Professor X, and he goes to the one chick with the sword, and he's just like, yes, we're bringing a flower. It's like, yeah, your flower sucks. I'm throwing this in the garbage. Get out of here with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to recycle this thing. This thing's just going to go out and it's going to freaking rot. Let the worms eat it. Your mama, you stupid freaking, take a piss on this stupid thing. Anyway, but more than that is the idea that he went and he said something to the effect of, you're saying that your Arakoan society has been around for 1,000 years. Well, we are new, but we are guaranteed to be around for 1,000 years more. Mother fathead, at this rate, I doubt Krakoa is going to be around for the next year. You know what I'm saying? I'd be surprised if Krakoa was around for another year. You know what I'm saying? I can almost bet that it's not going to be around for 5. You know what I'm saying? This isn't going to last as long as the New 52 lasted. All right? Like, I really just don't see that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But like that, I think that's a pretty safe prediction. I really just don't see Krakoa as being the same. Pretty soon it's just going to be the new Geonosis. You know what I'm saying? The new Genosha. It's like, yeah, we're here, and there's nothing special about it. We're just here. Hi. It's a cheap reason as to why we're not dying and not coming back. You know what I'm saying? It's just an excuse for us to come back. Pretty soon we'll give this technology to everybody, so nobody has to keep on making these Gwen Stacy excuses anymore. But even having Legion on here, I know that Legion has a huge fan base. I don't know how huge the fan base is, but the fans of Legion are like the Snyder Cut fans. It doesn't matter how many there are. They're so loud that you're going to hear them. They will be heard, Nobody's not being heard on this day when it comes to the fans of Legion, because there's a lot of them. That said, it's like, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of the fans who's like, I don't hate Legion, but I look at Legion, I'm just like, too confusing for me. You know what I'm saying? This is a seriously overcomplicated character, and not just his powers. God, I wish that was the only problem. But like the history of this character, for such a short lived character. When you think about Hawkman, a character older than Wonder Woman, for crying out loud, Hawkwoman is older than Wonder Woman in the comics. There's been a Hawkwoman, well, Hawkwoman has been in the DC comics before they ever made Sensational Comics issue number 8 or whatever the hell that was, that, first appearance of Wonder Woman. Shiera predates Wonder Woman, for crying out loud. And the Hawks don't have as complicated a history and a power set and an understanding of the family dynamics and everything as freaking Legion does. It's just an unnecessarily overcomplicated character. And I really feel like he needs the Hickman treatment, where it's just like, here, bang, boom, smack, flam, done. And now we all understand Legion. So we can just look back and say, you want to know Legion? Go read this book. Giant Size X-Men Legion, one shot, nothing before it, nothing after it, just a standalone, boom, right there. That's what we need. But we don't have that. So to me, he's just an unnecessarily complicated character. And there's nothing easy, nothing simple about this character. And unfortunately, I knew he was going to show up at the end, and then seeing him actually show up, I'm just like, this really just diminishes my interest in getting the next issue. The book was very well put together. All the characters were done very well, considering the situation, the state that they're all in right now. Magneto is a freaking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like lately, he's far less of a threat, and he's more of just this boisterous guy who's just talking a bunch, and he's not really doing anything special. And it's like, you need to use your powers against this person who obviously can't fight back, as opposed to the sword that Apocalypse did. It's like you're not even a bargain basement Apocalypse at this point, Magneto. You're a chump stain. That's what you are. And this book is perfect. This book isn't doing him an injustice. It's just further propagating exactly that we've been seeing in all of the other books. For crying out loud, does he even have his helmet cleaned properly after Wolverine pissed in it? I mean, everybody's been chumping Magneto, including Magneto. So this isn't that big of a deal to have Magneto just be an absolute loser in this. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's keeping in standard, right? The concept, however, is great. The concept of the Patchwork Man, because Pixie was the key to all of this. When you think about this, Pixie didn't see the Patchwork Man. Everybody else is talking about the Patchwork Man. What else didn't Pixie see? She never saw death. She never died and got resurrected through the program. Now, the past is the past. That's different. I got better. Yeah. Well, now we know how we get better. Now we know how X characters get better. But in this particular case, it's just you know what I'm saying? It's the resurrection protocol. So once she does go through, and the whole, cheese toasty, which New Zealand speak for a grilled cheese sandwich. Once she gets resurrected, she immediately starts seeing the freaking Patchwork Man. Immediately. Professor X is haunted by him. Remember when Professor X got killed or was it in X-Force or earlier than X-Force? Anyway, before the comic book came out, whatever. Professor X got killed by those paratroopers who came in, right? The new version of the Reavers. He got killed. So everybody's been killed, apparently, has been getting nightmares from the Patchwork Man. Now, just the idea they're calling the Patchwork Man, patchwork, a whole bunch of things coming up. Because with the kids talking about the Patchwork Man, I'm like, how do the kids know what the hell a patchwork is anyways? A patchwork is a quilt. You have a quilt made from a whole bunch of different things you put together and all these things. It's like, oh, there we go, a patchwork quilt. Kids today aren't going to know what the hell a patchwork is. But using it in this particular, that's like, people my age, pick up the phone. Show me how you pick up a phone like this. Kids nowadays. Right? My own kids did that without any prompts. They did that. Oh, phone. God damn it, it's true. What happened to this, man? That's even the symbol. Anyway. So the patchwork thing threw me off for a moment. But then this understanding that I currently have of what the Patchwork Man actually is. Think about it. Professor X, in many ways, if I'm right about my theory on this, Professor X gave it away perfectly in his second conversation with Nightcrawler, the one face-to-face. Because what happened? We get to see that Professor X says to Nightcrawler, she's not as she was when she died. Or she's not as she was when she died, but she is who she was from the last time that we, pinged her. So it is still her. But every single person who's died, and they didn't get to keep their memories after they were last updated, right? It's like, we're going on a mission, good chance we be killed. You need to go up and you need to get your, ping so that we have, in Cerebro, you right now. The second you walk away from that pin and you say, rubber baby buggy bumpers, you will not remember that you said rubber baby buggy bumpers. You will not remember that. Even if someone tells you, yeah, you got it, and you rubber baby bug, you're going to be like, word? I did that? Huh. You won't remember. And everything after that. And also there's the weekly updates. Oh, got to go for my weekly update. You know what I'm saying? Ping, rubber baby buggy bumpers. I don't remember saying that because I got killed 2 minutes later. Exactly. But what happens to the soul that was there for that short time? This is why the religion sounds so interesting to me. Is there a light in between you dying and then the tunnel and going in? And what happened to the person that you were before that? What is all of that? And all the different times that you have died, all those times that you lost in between the ping and your death, that missing time frame, you were still there. That was still you. That was yo ass. You borrowed $10 from me. Don't sit here and tell me, oh, but I died before I got pinged, so I don't owe you the money. I'm going to whoop that ass and break those thumbs from I'm Italian, mother fathead. You damn well better give me my money, honey. I'll come to Latveria. Get my money, sugar. Don't even. But that said, what happens to those pieces? What happens to those patches of those people who they were? Are we all our own patchwork? Well, I'm not a mutant, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. That's you know what? Non-mutant privilege. I said it. But all that being what it is that what the patchwork man is? Because that's the moment that Pixie saw him. And she never saw him before. I enjoy the characters. I don't enjoy the characters, but I do enjoy the characterization of the characters so far that they're showing in the comic book. I trust Cy Spurrier is a hell of a writer, and he's going to be able to do a damn good job at what he's tasked to do. I'm not a particularly fan of the characters who are being shown. You know what I'm saying? Specifically Legion. Like, I don't know that I want to read a book where Legion is the main protagonist and where Magneto is in charge of the Crucible instead of Apocalypse. I don't know that that's the book that I want to read. But the story itself so far and the speculation that I have on it, and that is much without the help of the white pages, which were an utter failure in this particular case. This book would have been better without the white pages in it. I'd have paid the same price just to have a book without any of the white pages. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad the white pages were. I'll pay the same damn price and everything. But, take my $5, keep the change, bitch. I don't need it back. Just keep the white pages also, But that being said, it is interesting we're finally going to get the Nightcrawler religion story. So I'm very hooked on that. You can't not like Nightcrawler. My kids looked and they knew who Nightcrawler was. Like, is Nightcrawler evil in this book? Because they saw the front cover on this. I was like, first off, Nightcrawler's not evil. Don't you ever say that again. In fact, go to bed early. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really happen. But the first part did. Yeah, you can't not like Nightcrawler. He's just too the furry blue elf, the lovable furry blue elf, right? So, seeing that it was Legion at the end bugged me a bit. That bugged me, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'll grab the next issue, and even if that was not great, I'll probably still grab the third one. But yeah, we're gonna have to see a lot. We're gonna have to see a lot to see this book actually be something special for me to enjoy the book. Like I said, my biggest turnoff is that it's Legion. And if you love Legion, that's going to probably be your biggest turn on. Anyway, that's all I got. That's my 2 cents. If you want change, You can reach me at comicbookuni@nochangeforyou.com. Talk to y'all later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Like the video on your way out. Class dismissed.